So first of all, expect the time. I mean, I know there's a busy schedule and everything. As I said, an incredible career, year 10 for you. It started all back in 2016 in Greece. Tell me that first flight to Europe, how was the young Kevin Panter feeling like?
So many emotions going through my mind. This can't be life was one of them. How fast life it just be this. Not saying it was terrible, but I don't know. Man, like, no. Like, I'm basically, with what I knew I was supposed to go to MBAs. And I'm only here because I broke my foot. So that's only like the thing that was going through my mind was that. It was like, what to expect. I don't know. I don't know nothing about what I got myself into. I just got my passport a week and a half ago. I've never really traveled nowhere like that, so it's probably getting myself into. I don't know Lario, don't know nothing about the club, nothing. I just go to the coach, Sorellis, and that was it. So I guess, yeah, that's what it is with Sorry.
A guy from New York traveling to Greece in the completely unknown. So how was those first few days not from a basketball standpoint, but from a lifestyle player? Yeah.
Yeah, I just did. It smelled funny. The hotel beds was little. The outlet to charge your phone was different. Yeah, I didn't know that. No one told me anything, so I'm kind of just trying to figure it out on the fly. My phone didn't work when I landed, so it's just like a lot of different things that have nothing to do. Yeah, like it's just like the time adjustment, trying to get adjust to that, trying to stay on American time. Just I don't know, it was just a lot of like. I didn't take that at Dove soap place. Yeah, no, I was part of it was ignorance. Yeah. So yeah, it was a struggle. I was staying in hotel for a couple weeks trying to find an apartment. Funny from the apartment wasn't really what you want to cattle, so I had to kind of just deal with that. Oh yeah, it was about the core. So the food. I got sick one time. I forgot what I ate. I just having a hard time with us. And then on the court, on the whole nother, I was having a hard time just on the court too. So it was yeah. So it was all of that at once. So it's like nothing else.
So what was it? They didn't give you the ball to do your thing, or so?
Like I would get the ball, but it was understanding spacing, when you attack 2-3 yards and then collide the play, you got pass out 45 pass. Yeah, I didn't know what a 45 pass was. Just little things like that. I just didn't see nobody but the rim. So I had to really figure my game out within the team aspect also, so like I said, my mind was come here, average 30. Yeah. This is like I said, the ignorance of me is thinking you could come to Europe,
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Exactly. This is how I was thinking. And mind you, a lot of Americans think this way, man, when they don't know anything about Europe. So that was my mom said. Then I got humbled quickly. Got okay, now it's not at the end, not over. Come here. The constantly just called my agent. What this team said, because they were still inquiring about me. Mm-hmm. So for me, it kept the door open. Like, okay, like so I get back, do these workouts, in which I did. But yeah, my mind really should be up here because I knew I wasn't supposed to be in yet. That's how I felt
at that moment. Yeah, that moment.
Yeah.
And then goes like a little stint in Belgium, Poland. What was that? I mean, what was Poland like?
I'm gonna get to Belgium. So Belgium was almost like in a way, of relief, because I was in this first situation, and not saying the situation was so bad, because I learned so much from it, but I feel like I did enough time. So, just going into a different environment at that time, I feel like was good for me. Mm-hmm. And Coach Rudders let me go, so he kind of gave it the okay. Now I went to Belgium, totally different league. So I got to see, experience different styles of play, different other Americans and players. So it was cool, but it was a short stint. And then when I went to Poland, I remember asking my agent, I'm like, isn't Greece better than Poland? Like, just not knowing.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, good domestically wide, yeah. So even though you play it twice a week, so that's why it's different. So he was putting me on game from the day I landed up until now. So, and just being in Poland, just random, middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, I was just. I told myself, I said, I just gotta focus. I'm best pro. That's it. Yes. Oh shoot, still my mom was in the NBA still. We was trying to come on and work out for team. Yeah. It wasn't the European thing wasn't like a thing for me at that time. It was still I gotta get back into the MAC. It was.
Were you doing the assembly thing then?
No, so I did assembly my first time out of college. There was a disaster. I said I would never do assembly again. I said I will work out for teams, yeah. But if they take it seriously, let's see where it goes. But was in Poland, had a great year. Still was oblivious to a lot of stuff. Then yeah, just focus on. I mean, just be the best for it to myself. And that's when it like woke me out there.
I think that's. I mean, I know that's the first time I heard the name Caleb Panter when you were saying
I think a lot of people. Yeah, I think that was a lot of people. Obviously, I'm in a bigger market. Yeah, going back to Greece,
but a bigger team.
But a bigger team, and also I think and mind you, I knew who Ike was when I played in Labrio, and I always looked at them. Okay, it looks it's a little different, like this is me being American. My first couple months in Labrio, just observing everything, just seeing what makes things look different. I remember seeing them because they had Mike Dixon showing you how nice you are, yeah, because you hit the bazoo. So I met them out. Okay, and then they play. They played in the arena now. That Panter plays in there. Oh, yes, in the room. Yeah, so when I'm with the Ike, it was like, okay, like
Big arena.
yes. Had my boy Daryl James on the team with me. He's from Brooklyn, so it made it more comfortable for me. So it was cool, and they come from Poland to Athens.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I already was familiar with Athens when I was in Labrador, so I used to drive up to Athens to TDI Fridays, and to go out and stuff like that. So it was cool. But I think that's when it kind of like hit like, hold on, maybe I'm old something. Yeah. It ain't quite. I'm still thinking NBA will maybe.
They're still
not bad. I'm seeing a better things to what Europe can offer.
Yeah. And your Serbian connection starts there. That means does it? Dragan Shakotel. He's your first.
Yeah. That's my first year. Yeah.
So how was he like? Old.
He
old school coach.
He wasn't like
doing this job like what's in us.
The first boy everyone told me. Hey, you hear Serbian coach, they crazy, practice crazy. They don't care about nothing. It's practice guard. I seen Henry was like, nah, he's not like that. He's chill. Practice isn't crazy. Obviously, forget a bad, so that's one sort. But and mind, I was on a veteran team at the time. We had Mike Green was a point guard. We had Manny Harris. We had his son. Who else we had? We had Daryl James, me. So we had some Larry Letty jockeys. Yeah. So we had some good, experienced, solid players. So it made everything easy. And it made my job easier. Let's come up to bench, we squad, yes. And then they'll do everything. All right, cool. So that was the first time me playing on the big club.
Yeah.
At that time. So it was dope for me. It was cool.
That's when you guys won the Champions League?
Yes, we won Champions League for Champions League, yeah.
So then you kind of go, what was the next step? Italy?
The Virtus, yeah, well, the Virtus after that went Champions League, right? Go to Virtus. So by this time, before we're Virtus, a lot of people saying, yeah, you're a EuroLeague player.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what that. I mean, I know what it is, but it's like I'm still new to, because this is my third year.
Yeah.
So I'm still new to
us.
But I'm understanding it's more levels, but I'm still like, what makes someone a EuroLeague player, not a EuroLeague player? Now, I'm trying to figure that aspect out. So I start hearing them, you're a EuroLeague player. So all the agents is, hey, shit, that everybody's in here now. Yeah. A hot day, you know how they go. So the agent of the year. Something but we got to take one step. Not me realizing what that really is, but I trusted him so much. We got to go one step, start it again, and then cool. I guess play Champions League again. Obviously our money is worse. I'm starting at finance. I'm starting to
to see the benefits.
To see the benefits. Yeah, I'm able to take care of myself. I met my mom so my first year. She was still paying my phone bill. My first year.
When you were in Lavi?
Yes, my mom was still paying my phone bill. Like that's how serious it was. Like my mom still paying my phone bill. She said, "Yo, after this concert, I'm done." Yeah. So I'm like, fair enough. So let me just focus. Let me handle my business as a man. I don't want that burden on my mom. You know, she took care of me up until this point at that time. I mean, also, but that's the issue. So I was starting to see the financial benefits of that. And then I'm able to now help her out. So I'm like, all right, like it's starting to make sense. You know, like all the different stuff, it's starting to make sense. So, and I'm born in virtues. After my year, say, oh, we got to do one more year, you know, roughly around this level, and then we make that jump. So I'm like, all right, cool. End up done it again. Yeah,
with Aleksandar Đorđević at the bench, yeah, another Serbian legend.
Exactly, you know. And then after that, though, you know, you finally get your chance. But a lot of teams told me go about a lot, and I'm not gonna call them out or say no. I'm not gonna name you. A lot of teams who's like, nah,
You're not that guy.
yeah, like I don't think a lot of teams. But I'm grateful that like I first gave me a chance with them blacks, to you know, come on. Yeah.
That's some really big names for coaches, David. But
It is. I ain't gonna lie. When you in the moment, you really think.
really thinking about it.
I mean, like now in my life, now I look back, I look at my career, I'm like, man, like I'm grateful for a lot of these moments, because it was like, you know, when you in the moments, like, yeah, whatever. But we look back, seeing how hard this is, like, my bad, I stand stone for sure.
I don't know how many guys took every step. I mean,
You know, and I mean,
how many from the
and that's why I have a different respect level for certain dudes, because like I really watch who was here and
really starting from the
oh yeah, for sure. Like that's why I get it. I ask these different type of questions about guys around the league. That's why I don't really like saying the white ink. Like I haven't really seen dudes come and start from the bottom of the league, had to work their way up to EuroLeague and get to EuroLeague, have to prove yourself all over again. Like there's not too many guys that has been in those situations where your first 5-6 years of your career, like I'm playing on a 1-year deal, and every year so you just have to make a break.
Yeah.
And like so I don't really respecting a lot of the players when they start talking about they this and that, because I kind of just ignored. Because the real ones know, like, man, it takes time and effort. It takes time and effort. You have to constantly produce year after year just to get there. Yeah. And then you get there, then you gotta stay there. You know, so
that thing must be even more tough.
Exactly my point. You know, so it's crazy, man. It's great. I'm just a lot of times I just be proud of myself for sticking with it. Cause now I had to quit. I'm not about.
When was that?
My rookie year. Oh yeah. But come my said this put me for D League at the time. He scored D League. Then I put me in D League. I got none. But I see you through.
Then after Olympiacos comes Belgrade for the first time. Yeah, Red Star. How did that?
Was it playing at Olympiacos?
Yeah, that was mid-season. Yeah.
The Black had got sick. The assistant coach took over. Shook up the lineup. Signed some more players immediately. Stopped playing. Called myself not a player. And in this moment, I'm kind of just like, whatever. Like, I'm enjoying acting so much. Cool.
Yeah.
I almost got complacent because like, whatever, I ain't playing. I'll be home soon. Because the season, if we're not playing Greek League at the time. So yeah, that'd be like, yeah, it was that season. So it's like, we're going through it bad. Like, I'm almost like depressed, not playing. Just like, I don't want to say I don't recognize myself, but it's kind of one of those where I kind of just let myself go like, whatever, I'm over here though. You know, the Red Star opportunity came, and I remember telling the agent, I said, what if I don't go? Say, nah, hey, next year, man, I'll do the ground message. I'm just like, you know, feel like going, like, I mean, we had to. Soccer Town wants you.
Yeah.
Like, and you knew him. And I knew him, and then I'm thinking about how we worked at Ike. He was like, hey, we could do the same thing we did at Ike. And now you come up to Benjamin. I know, I'm just like, mind you, I have to travel December 23rd. So Christmas is in 2 days.
Yeah, and
so I have to pack all my stuff up. Sign my termination agreement, whatever the case is. I'm just like, but I had to travel during the holidays. I've been, you know. So at this point, I'm just like, man, all right, man, like, That's probably one of the best decisions I did, because they kind of changed my entire career in EuroLeague, because that was gonna make or break me. Yeah, once you mess up that first time,
There's not many chances.
you might be done. Yeah, you might be done. So me playing those 12 games with Red Star before COVID happened, that's how I got my Milan job. 12 games hit up Milan job. So just locked in, performed the way I needed to, and I was able to go to Red Milan to you. So
And I remember that game. We had a game winner against Asso.
that was my second game.
Second game, yeah. I remember watching it.
Be hard. Man, you don't understand me emotional I had. Just with cause I always felt like I was good, especially in Europe. Yeah, like once I started up the ranks, and
You can make the difference.
different top guys was, I'm just like, hit by, okay, and I was, if not better, but holding my own at that point in time. I'm like, nah, but I gotta outbeat this dude. So playing my first year in this Munich at home, having 15 points, it's like, all right, nah. And then the very next game, Hasbell, the buzzer beater shot, I'm saying, nah, I can do this. I could do this for sure, at a high level for sure. Like, I remember coming to Barca, giving them work, because Corey was guarding me. Yeah, that's my dog. I love Corey. But like, this is how, as a competitor and a guy that has never been at these levels, this is how you gauge your game up against the best of the best. Like, let me see if, and I was doing what I needed to do. It was like, knock off sure, cause though. And from that point,
Then you become an elite guy. Final Four.
yeah.
I mean, that Milan was where you meet Zach, and you guys take it to the almost to the very end. How was the Milan season?
It was dope because that was the first time I played with so many elite names and players that have won EuroLeague accolades, all EuroLeagues. So elite coach. This is my first elite coach in terms of EuroLeague level with EuroLeague. So for me, it was great because you got guys like Kyle Hines, Lotto Mitsov, Gigi, Chacho, and he had what the guest was there. Siobhan Shields, Zach was there, senior at the head coach. So we had so many, so much knowledge. So for me, my biggest thing was like, all right, cool, I ain't about to come here talking. I'm gonna come here and try to kick everyone's behind. And then it'd be me, Zach, and Siobhan was the young dudes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming to be hungry. It's coming to be yourself. Coming to try to carry, right? I don't know what could guard me. Come in to be confident. I talk much. I'm just going to let my game to talk. And that's kind of like how I carried that whole year in the blind. And like the older guys, this open their arms up to, and it made it a lot easier.
And going back to Red Star, I know they wanted to keep you.
Yes.
I mean, how was it? I mean, I suspect Milan gave you a much better, how do you say, better everything.
It's crazy. Financially, it wasn't off by much, but it's small. Yeah, of course. Like, I think it'll be a good. Yeah, I see. I see what they were trying to build. So why not? I had spoken to Seed at that time. We asked me a couple questions. But it felt good at that time.
And then after Milan, the people say the most craziest decision of your career. They go and step it back.
Crazy.
And then when you look back at it, an incredible decision.
I know it's wild.
Going from a guy who led his team to the EuroLeague Final Four, stepping back to Euro Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been done. I don't know.
Except at all.
I mean, you and Zach.
Yeah.
I mean, you did speak about it a few times, but still.
I don't know why. That decision was still hard for me.
Yeah, I mean,
because I thought about what people would say about me. Yeah. Naturally, it's like, I think I would say, like, he did it for the money.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, that's the first thing. There's like,
first thing they gonna say, like, he just did it for this, like. Yeah, but Cortisone at that time was a specific project. It's not just any coach leaving, that the coach. So it's like playing for him, just like playing for EuroLeague, even though you're not here. So it was like a lot of things I had to think about. But he told me the bigger picture and the plan moving forward. That helped with we signing there. It was tough, man. Like regardless of the money, it was still tough because I still almost was just like, nah, I'm over that. Because I want to play EuroLeague, but something made me really say, I'll do it. Just honestly, just listen to coach.
Yeah. I mean, but his influence is really, it's insanely big. His presence is everything.
Is everything. Like, so I don't mind saying no. Like, if I'm gonna say no,
saying no, yeah.
but at that time,
You don't want to do anything you don't want to.
exactly. But at that time, everything made sense. It aligned with what made sense for me and how I get down in my life. So I said, no, we'll do something different. And I'm gonna trust that you believe me. You do something different. I don't care what nobody else. I'm BK.
And then you immediately after that one season transformed the entire club to a EuroLeague club, to this marketing sensation, viral sensation. Everybody was talking about Partizan, the atmosphere, this, that. I mean, did you think it was going to be like that? I mean, I know the life in Belgrade for you. I mean, you couldn't go down the street without kids swarming you.
In my second year, my first year, it was fairly new. Yeah, my second year, it was, yeah. Second year and third year was tough. Was tough for sure. To just walking down the street and yeah, for sure. For me, I just laugh sometimes because like,
I mean, you guys were a rock and roll band. Everybody, it was insane. I never seen anything like it in Serbia.
for sure, I agree. But I always think about the first year. Yeah, people said I was crazy for going to part of down there, and that was like nobody ever. People won't even fix their mouth to say that no more. Now it's like hardest in this viral every other week. Everyone want to go to Belgrade. Everybody want to go to Partizan. Yeah, I'm just like, man, I remember when the people say I was crazy with doing it, or I did it for an X, Y, Z. And now it's like, so that's what makes me most proud. Like what I felt in my gut at that time is what everybody seeing now. So that still to this day, that makes me happy, regardless of how they doing now or have, so
Of course. And I mean, I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I think it's a fact that Partizan's elevation and bringing you, Obradovic, and this and that, they also elevated Red Star because they couldn't allow themselves to fall behind against their biggest rival. So everything was like...
I definitely agree. But I think that's normal. I mean, like if you go to every league, and if you go to every country, every league, if you go to Panter and Olympiacos, Madrid, or if you go to every top team, they always got to make sure they're competing or they got one up on the next top team. So I think that's preferable. But obviously in a country like Serbia, that's big time. Where both teams is elevating their players and their style of play to beat each other out at the end.
Last few things. What was the fondest memory, Partizan?
It's too many memories. It's it's crazy. I don't know why I'm like this, but I always think about the bad stuff.
I think that's human nature too. Like,
but not in that way. I'm also thinking about the bad because I always remember what people said and how people would downplay you or your team or whatever the case is. I remember what people said about me as a captain. We was I remember these things. Yeah. Like I was the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Why is he the captain? He's just an American. Like no.
People don't understand. Like my first year and a lot of my second year, beginning of my second, I was trying to figure out
what does that mean?
Not necessarily that. I understand what that means, but it's a lot of times you have to put the team before you.
Yeah.
So early that second year, I put the team way before me. I was performing good, but I had to make sure everyone was in the right headspace to be themselves before I struggled with that in the beginning. And people used to say the craziest things about me. So, and I said that and say, when we started to be rock star and all this, I always think about, I used to say this and that, right? Yeah, I don't understand what it took to even get to this point, because everybody love you
when you're winning.
That's the obvious. So it's those people that say things about you or how they treat you, whatever the case is, like when it's not going so well, So I always think about that part of it, not in a bad way. Like we overcame that. Yeah, the team, like, we was going through it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we was going through it, and when the start was rough, and it really was up through it, but we stayed the course for sure. It was for sure worth it, for sure. I don't know about it, it's worth it. And verder, Obradovic moment.
I got a lot. Oh, I got some off-camera moments. There's a lot of off-camera.
Yeah.
A lot of off-camera moments. I'm gonna just go to a moment on camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could go back to my first year when Alexa.
Yeah.
And he was going crazy with that one. I'll say that for my first year. My second year. Oh. Nah, bro, it's so many ones. I can say for my second year, one time we was playing. I think it was my third year. One moment we had, I can't remember what year it was. The practice was not good. Practice wasn't good at all. We was playing Mega the next day. So it was day 4 practice. Yeah. So we were practicing not good. He said, drop the basketballs now and make you run the rest of the practice. So or that's something else happened, boy. Give me the balls. Took all the balls away. We ran and did defensive slides and all these different things for the rest of practice. They had a game next day and yeah.
Oh, but I remember that year, yeah.
Yes, we played with Mega. I don't know if that was my second year or 7th year.
Second, I think it's second.
I can't remember. It's
Everything
every year is
blurred together.
like it was one of those moments like, man, this is great. Yeah, I got a lot of story about the Bulls, but he went through all that. I still love Coach, man. I was such a great. I always tell people like, all right, take the basketball aspect away. Like, all right, cool. We don't understand if he's one. But just as a person, yeah, he's one of the greatest people I've ever worked with. It's like human beings, like just always just looking out for people, take care of people. You're just full of life. So I always say, like, I do the craziness. I can deal with the craziness because deep down inside, he's a great lad. So yeah.
Then I guess the last question: How strange is it going to be to play Partizan and not see him on the range?
Strange for sure. Yeah, definitely strange. It's like when you see Partizan, you see him for sure. But yes, that's the business we in.
Yep. Guess that's it. Thanks, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I mean, always a pleasure.